Welcome to my channel, Sella Buzz. You know how sometimes you see a famous person and think, wow, how do they still look like that after so many years? Well, Johnny Depp is one of those people that always makes people wonder. He's been on our TV screens for a really long time. And no matter how many times he goes away from being famous and then comes back, there's always talk about how he looks. Is he getting old in a nice way? Has he changed a lot? Has he done something secret to keep looking the way he does? These questions have been around for years. And today we're going to learn the truth about Johnny Depp's so-called secrets for staying young. And trust me, the story isn't as easy as people think. Johnny Depp is now over 60 years old. 60 years of living, acting, performing, playing music, and being right in the middle of Hollywood talk. And yet every time a new picture of him comes out, fans can't stop talking about how different he looks compared to last time. Some people promise he hasn't gotten old at all. Others say he looks older than he should. It's like people are split right down the middle. But what's really happening? Is Johnny hiding some secret way? Or is this just what happens when someone lives their life under camera flashes all the time? To answer that, you first have to remember who Johnny is. He's never been about being perfect. From his first days in Hollywood, he wasn't the kind of actor who wanted to be the clean, perfect leading man. He built his whole look around being different. A little messy, a little mysterious, with sharp cheekbones, deep eyes, and that rock and roll feeling that made him stand out. That kind of look gets old differently than the classic Hollywood pretty boy face. And because of that, every wrinkle or tired day gets noticed more. Now, let's be honest. We all have days where we don't look our best. Maybe you've stayed up too late. Maybe stress is showing on your face. Or maybe you're just tired. For most of us, nobody's taking photos in those moments. But for Johnny, one bad angle or one tired look gets put on every website the next day. Suddenly people start saying, he looks terrible. He's unrecognizable. He's not the same man anymore. But if you look past the tabloid drama, what you're seeing is just normal human getting older, caught in the brightest possible light. And then, of course, there's lifestyle. For years, Johnny lived fast. The rock star lifestyle wasn't just for show. Late nights, endless parties, playing in bands, traveling the world. And yes, some habits that weren't exactly healthy. He has openly talked about his problems, and those choices always leave their mark. When you live like that for many years, your face tells the story. But here's the twist. Johnny has also made big changes. In recent years, he's stepped away from the crazy life of Hollywood. He's focused more on his music, spent more time in Europe, and chosen a quieter, more creative life. And when you see him now, especially on stage performing, there's a spark there. He doesn't look old so much as he looks like a man who's lived and survived a lot. That's part of the reason people find him so interesting. When they compare a red carpet photo where he might look tired to a concert photo where he looks alive and full of energy, it's almost like looking at two different people. And maybe that's one of his real secrets. He's not trying to hide who he is or how time has changed him. He's showing different sides depending on where he is. And the truth is that makes him more human than a lot of stars who try to freeze themselves in time. Now let's talk about the rumors, because you know they're everywhere. Has Johnny had surgery? Has he gone through treatments? Is he secretly doing the same Hollywood fixes that so many actors and actresses use? Honestly, the proof doesn't really point in that direction. Unlike other stars who change their faces every few years, Depp hasn't gone down that road. He doesn't have that stiff, frozen forehead or the plastic look that screams fake work. His face has always told a story, and even now it still does. Every line, every wrinkle, every shadow, it's there. But maybe that's the point. His secret is that he's not hiding anything. Think about it for a second. In a world where so many celebrities are doing everything they can to stay forever young, Johnny Depp has taken a very different path. Hollywood is full of actors and actresses who refuse to let a single wrinkle show. Some go for surgeries, others spend tons of money on treatments, and a lot of them end up looking almost unrecognizable over the years. It's like they're chasing something that can never truly be caught, time. But Johnny, in his own way, has decided to step off that treadmill. He's allowed his years to show, and that choice alone sets him apart. There's a kind of honesty in it, and funny enough, that honesty is what gives him a timeless quality. Now, nobody is saying Johnny looks like he did at 20. Of course not. Age changes everyone. His face has lines. His eyes sometimes look heavier, and you can see the weight of years in his expressions. But here's the difference. He doesn't look like he's pretending otherwise. He doesn't look like he's desperately holding on to a version of himself that existed many years ago. Instead, he looks like Johnny Depp. Just older, wiser, a little rougher around the edges maybe, but still entirely himself. That's something people can respect. And if you really think about it, that's part of why his fans love him so much. They don't want him to be a polished statue. They want him to be real. They want him to be the Johnny who lived a full, messy, interesting life and didn't hide the proof. Every line on his face tells a story. Maybe it's from long nights on tour. Maybe it's from endless hours on set. Maybe it's from heartbreak or laughter or both. Whatever the reason, those marks make him human. And being human is something that connects him more deeply to the people who watch him. Compare that to so many stars who work hard to erase every sign of getting older. They end up looking smooth, sure, but also a little disconnected. Fans can tell when someone has gone too far. There's something weird about it, something that makes you feel like you're not looking at a person anymore but at a mask. With Johnny, there's no mask. What you see is what you get. That's a powerful thing in a business built on make-believe. But let's not pretend it's just a simple choice. Johnny's look is also tied to how he's lived. His life hasn't been easy or clean. He's had battles, problems, heartbreaks, and more than his fair share of public watching. He's also lived like a rock star, even when he wasn't on stage with a guitar. That lifestyle leaves marks. It shapes a person's face and body. Yet, even with that, there's something definitely magnetic about him. He doesn't shy away from the image of someone who's lived through chaos. In fact, he welcomes it. That edge, that roughness becomes part of his charm. And then there's his energy. Because here's the thing, getting older isn't just about looks. It's about spirit. You can have a wrinkle-free face and still feel old if your energy is gone. Or you can have gray hair and lines on your skin, but still feel alive if your spark is intact. Johnny's spark hasn't gone anywhere. Watch him on stage with his band and you'll see it right away. His eyes light up, his posture changes, and suddenly it's like time doesn't matter. He's not 60, he's not 50, he's not 20, he's just Johnny Depp doing what he loves. That's youth right there. And it can't be bottled or bought. People sometimes forget that how we see aging is tied to context. If you see Johnny on a red carpet under harsh lights after a long flight or during a stressful period, you might say, "Wow, he looks tired. He looks older." But if you see him performing in his element with a guitar in his hands, smiling and connecting with the crowd, you'll say, "He looks incredible." Same person, same age, completely different impression. And maybe that's another secret, knowing that energy, passion, and context matter more than being perfect. There's also a thinking side to it. Johnny has always been a bit of an outsider in Hollywood. He never fully played the game the way others did. He turned down big movie roles that would have made him even richer, because he didn't want to be stuck in someone else's idea of who he should be. He chased weird, unusual characters instead. He picked roles that gave him freedom. That outsider mindset seems to carry over to how he handles getting older too. While everyone else is running toward the fountain of youth, he's stepping aside saying, "No thanks. I'll just be me." That independence, that refusal to follow the crowd is part of why he continues to stand out. And let's not forget, he's had to deal with more public judgment than most. Every change in his appearance is instantly made bigger, debated, and turned into headlines. One bad picture on a gossip site becomes proof that he's fallen apart. But isn't that the same for all of us? We all have good days and bad days. The difference is the world doesn't put our faces on the front page. For Johnny, that's been his reality for many years. And through it all, he's kept moving forward. That strength shows in his face too. It's not just lines, it's history. The beauty of it is that fans see beyond the gossip. They see the realness. And being real is rare. In fact, it's becoming one of the most attractive qualities a celebrity can have. People are tired of perfection. They're tired of fake lies. They want someone who's real. Johnny gives them that. And in return, they give him loyalty. If you break it down, his so-called aging secret isn't a secret at all. It's about honesty. It's about passion. It's about living your life fully without pretending you're untouched by time. That kind of honesty doesn't just age well, it lasts forever. Because in the end, we don't remember celebrities for how wrinkle-free their skin looked at 70. We remember them for their impact, their spirit, their art, and the way they made us feel. Johnny understands that. That's why he doesn't look like a copy of his younger self. He looks like the growth of himself, and that's far more powerful. Every stage of his life has had its own beauty. The young Johnny with the sharp features and mysterious stare. The middle-aged Johnny, who became larger-than-life characters on screen. And now the older Johnny, who's still surprising us, still making music, still stepping into roles, and still refusing to be defined by what anyone else thinks. So when people talk about Johnny Depp's aging secrets, the truth is simple. He doesn't hide from time. He welcomes it. He doesn't try to erase the past. He carries it with him. And in a strange, beautiful way that makes him timeless. He might not look 20, but he doesn't look like he's trying to either. He looks like Johnny Depp, and that's enough. But here's something fans may not know. Insiders who've worked with him say his real aging secrets are actually pretty simple. He values routine. He sticks to some old-school skincare habits. He prefers natural remedies over expensive luxury creams. And yes, genetics plays a big role. His family background gave him strong features that have carried him through the years. That's the kind of thing no Hollywood doctor can create. But the real key, and this is something even experts point out, is passion. How someone feels about life shows up on their face. And if you've ever seen Johnny on stage with his band, you know what I'm talking about. He comes alive. His eyes light up. His smile looks younger. And for a moment you forget he's 60. That joy, that spark is what keeps him youthful. It's not a cream or a treatment. It's the music, the creativity, and the feeling of being free. Another thing worth mentioning is how Hollywood itself shapes what we see. Lighting, styling, costumes, even makeup can completely change how someone looks on screen or on stage. With new films and tours, you can expect to see Johnny styled in ways that make him appear younger or sharper. And when that happens, don't be surprised if the same media that said he looks old suddenly says he looks better than ever. That's how quickly the story changes. So the big question is, has Johnny Depp discovered a true secret to aging? The answer might not be what people expect. His secret isn't about stopping time. It's about welcoming it. It's about living boldly, creating constantly, and letting the world see the scars as well as the shine. That honesty is rare in Hollywood, and maybe that's why fans keep talking about it. And honestly, maybe that's a lesson for all of us. We spend so much time worrying about wrinkles, about looking older, about holding on to youth. But Johnny shows that getting older doesn't mean losing yourself. It means becoming more of who you are. Every line on his face tells a story of music, movies, love, heartbreak, battles, and wins. And in a way that's more attractive than pretending to be ageless. So when people ask, what's Johnny Depp's true aging secret? Maybe the answer is simple. Be passionate. Be creative. Don't hide your scars. And never stop doing what makes you feel alive.